Hey guys, I'm here at Second Amendment Zone down in Upland, California, and we are talking about their newly added to the roster P320. I believe it is the P320 model that is on the roster.
Correct.
This gun is been in the works for a while now, and it is a single shot on roster P320. This gun uses some factory SIG parts, including the factory SIG frame, the SIG Custom Works fire control unit, which I have in some other guns and I really do like. It uses the compact style sizing, so it's similar size to a Glock 19, 3.9 inch barrel. The nice thing about the P320 though, completely modular. So if you want to swap out the grip, the slide, the barrel, all the other stuff and turn it into a completely different gun after the fact, you can. The people at Second Amendment Zone have been working on this for a long time. I think this is what, 6 months in the works now?
About 6 months in the works.
6 months from putting it through the testing. This gun was drop tested by the California Department of Justice to get it put on the handgun roster. Something that I gotta talk about real quick is people had a lot of questions about the Franklin Armory gun. This gun being on the roster does not remove 3 semi-autos that are currently on the roster because this gun is not semi-automatic. When you fire this gun, there's a little single shot sled built into the grip module, and what this does is when you fire it, it will eject that round and then close the slide on an empty chamber, at which point you would open the slide back up, put a round in there, and then you could shoot again. The interesting thing about the P320 is that this gun is completely modular. So this grip makes this gun single shot. So the interesting thing about this gun is since it is completely modular with the fire control unit being the firearm, the opportunities are endless. Saying the quiet parts out loud is not something we're gonna do today because of some recent YouTube guidelines changes, and I can't do certain things that I would love to show you because of that. Some features about this gun: it comes with a slide that is made by Norso, specifically for Second Amendment Zone, and it has their Second Amendment Zone logo and manufacturing information on the slide. The registered firearm is the fire control unit. So you can take this out and put it into any other system that you want, whether it's a full size, something like the X5 or something even compact.
Like those X5 exchange kits.
Yep, and just
great for the FCUs.
Drop that in and it's super cool, and then you can do what you want with those. The pricing on this is going to be $1,350.
About $1,350.
$1,350.
We'll try to lower it, but that's where we're going to be starting out with it.
That's MSRP. Where it's going to be sold, luckily, since this is on the California handgun roster, you guys are no longer limited to finding gun stores that are willing to accept a single shot exempt pistol. This gun is on the roster. The state of California explicitly says this gun is legal and legal to buy for the average citizen. So while the roster is unfortunate that it exists, and I'm currently involved in some lawsuits, that's actually why I'm down here in SoCal today, to challenge that, this gun, any gun store should be comfortable accepting a transfer of this and having it on their shelves ready for you to purchase.
And that's the nice thing of it now being on the roster, is that instead of us trying to have to find a way to do it, now we have the DOJ actually telling us, yes, you can do it.
Because when I've purchased some single shot exempt pistols from you guys, I've either had to drive down here, and me being in Northern California, that's 7.5 hours each way. I'm sure many of you probably have been hoping and praying that a gun store like this that does things like they do would open up in your area. Now they can just send this gun to a FFL near you, and they should be totally comfortable transferring it, because some of the FFLs weren't super keen on these single shot exemptions, but this is approved for sale. Something that sets this apart, I think, from the Franklin Armory one is the fact that this slide is RMR pattern, and it's ready to go for an optics right out of the box. The RMR pattern is obviously the most popular. You can get your Holosuns, your RMRs, your SROs. I think there's a couple other manufacturers that make RMR pattern red dots. This one has the little bosses, I think they're called, the little notches.
Little recoil lugs on there. Yeah.
And so that helps stabilize and protect this optic. These optics are going to last a long time anyway if you go with a good manufacturer, but you have a wide variety of options, and this should work with pretty much any of the most popular red dots, except like Delta Point Pro or SIG Romeo pattern red dots. But for the most part, everyone else...
RMR is the more common footprint compared to the Delta Point or the SIG footprints.
So yeah, high quality slides from a good manufacturer. Are these SIG barrels?
Yes.
Yes.
So SIG factory barrels, SIG factory FCU, SIG factory grip. The only thing that's not SIG on this is the slide, but it's made from a very reputable manufacturer. It's RMR cut. $13.50 pricing. Yes, you know, everybody would love to be able to buy a $500 SIG, but unfortunately in the state of California, that's not the world we live in. It costs more money to breathe air here. So it is the way it is. A lot of people asked about drop testing. Yes, this gun has been drop tested. This specific gun in front of me today is one of the models that was drop tested. And a lot of people say, why don't you just use the cheapest Chinesium manufacturer for these parts to just get something out there for a lower price? These guns have to survive quite a rigorous drop testing, and they need to be able to ensure that they can get these parts from the same manufacturer in the same exact configuration, made the same way in perpetuity. Otherwise, like we saw with the HKs and the Sigmas in this last year, the manufacturers change one small place of where they source a spring, or they change how they make something, and now they have to get it on the roster again. If they were to go with a super cheap run of, you know, just random Saturday night special slide, if that manufacturer changes anything, like we saw some changes happen with the Sigma and the HK, they'd be waiting, what, another 6 months to get this reapproved on the roster. So you're getting a very high quality part. If you wanted to swap out the grip, because the grip is what makes this single shot, it's very easy to swap out this grip or make some modifications. If you want to swap out the slide, can't really say specifically, can't really show you things because of YouTube guidelines, but very, very easy to do and swap out all the parts.
It's still a 320 platform.
The FCU is unmodified. The slide and barrel and recoil assembly, unmodified. Modifications of this gun are very easy to do, and I think we'll kind of leave it at that. But yeah, so coming to a local store near you, the P320 from Second Amendment Zone using a Custom Works SIG fire control unit. You don't got to worry about licensing and everything like that. SIG was very happy to have this be another option to get their products in the hands of Californians. So no worry about trademarks or licensing or anything like that. They're not going to get sued because they're selling these guns. SIG is very happy to be a part of this, or happy that this is existing.
SIG has been very supportive.
Yeah. So if you are in the area, come out, check out Second Amendment Zone. If you are not in the area, expect to see these at a store near you soon where you can get them for yourself. Right on.
Yep. We're looking at about March and April for the drop time. You can go on our website right now for the pre-orders on them. It's just $5 for the pre-order. You can set it whether you want it in-store pickup or shipped out to an FFL, and then we'll go from there.
Sweet. Right on. Thanks, guys.
Have a good one.
Okay. Fuck it. Let's do it live.
Cool.
Let me just... Okay. Blow into your mic real quick. They're working. Cool.